So welcome to this module. Thus far we already worked with some data, we're slowly building up our blockchain, but if we're very honest, our blockchain right now is a list of numbers. Or to be very precise, it's a list of nested lists of numbers. Now this doesn't give us everything we need for a real blockchain. We need to store more information than just a number for each block. If we're talking about cryptocurrencies, we want to store transactions, and a transaction is obviously more than just one number. We want to store multiple transactions, and it's more than just the amount. It's also information about who is sending how much to whom. So we need more complex data structures. And in this module, we'll dive into some additional data types or data structures Python offers us. To be precise, we'll dive into tuples, sets, and dictionaries. And you'll learn what these are, how they behave, how they differ from lists and the general data structures you'll learn about thus far, and how we can use them in our blockchain, of course. In general, these three data structures, as well as the list, are summarized as iterables. And we'll have a look at some iterable functions and behaviors. So what can we do with these different iterables? How do they behave? How do they differ? How can we manipulate them? Fun stuff like that. There's one special type of thing we can do with iterables, and that is a so-called list comprehension. Now that sounds very strange, but we'll learn what it is and how it can be really useful to us. And we will also use it in our blockchain. Now, last but not least, there is something I mentioned in an earlier module already. We'll have a look at the by reference versus by value thing, the difference between is and the double equal sign operator I was talking about in the last module. I'll dive into what this exactly is all about and which implications it has for us. Now, what about our course project, the blockchain? Well, in this module, we will start working with real transactions, you could say. We'll be able to send transactions from A to B because we'll include information about the sender and the recipient of a transaction. We'll also have outstanding transactions and a more realistic mining setup where people are really taking outstanding transactions and include them into a new block of our blockchain. And we'll see how that works together. There are also a lot of minor things we'll work on so that by the end of this module, we'll have a more realistic blockchain, all thanks to more complex data structures. So let's get started.